Hey guys, it's Leandra and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I have been meaning to do for such a long time. I keep seeing videos like this from my favorite booktubers and I really enjoy watching them. I think that it's just always been super intimidating for me to think about filming one myself, and that is of course a bookshelf tour. I think probably one of the reasons why I didn't really want to do a bookshelf tour was reason number one, I always felt like I didn't have enough books, because obviously when you're watching a lot of big booktubers you see that they have so many books and I just know that I will never sort of match up to that. So in a way I felt like stupidly insecure, which is just so ridiculous. And second of all, I think another reason why I have always felt very intimidated is because I read a lot of very popular books. I think that nowadays there's always this tendency to be really excited when someone sort of shows a book that maybe not many people have heard of before. And sadly, I still have so many sort of like popular books that I need to read through and that I want to read through and that I want to get to, because I know that like they're super hyped. But I suppose I'm a sucker for hyped books, which is really stupid. And so I felt kind of like my bookshelf tour was gonna be really silly because I'd only have books on my shelf that like everyone else already has. But I just realized like, who the fuck cares about that? I should be proud of the books that I own. I should be proud of the books that I love. I read a lot of books on my Kindle these days, so my bookshelf is not necessarily an accurate representation of all of the books that I've ever read. My Goodreads is going to be linked down below though if you guys want to go check that out. But without further ado, let's get to the bookshelf tour. So starting on my top left shelf, I have all of my Sarah J Maas physical copies. All the books in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, which is A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and a Ruin, and then the novella A Court of Frost and Starlight. I have actually not read A Court of Frost and Starlight yet, but I definitely want to get to it sometime soon, and I'm really excited about that. Then I also have the Throne of Glass series, which is Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, and Empire of Storms. I have actually not read these two books either. I know that this one is like on display on my shelf, but I generally just love displaying like the last book in the series. But no, I haven't read these two yet. I've only gotten as far as Heir of Fire, but I definitely want to read these both sometime soon. Then on the right side, I have all of the books in the Lunar Chronicle series, which is Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter. I also have the two novellas, which is Fairest, and also the novella bind up, which is called Stars Above. I was actually planning on getting the hardcover versions of the Lunar Chronicles, but actually what stopped me was knowing that I didn't have enough space to fit them in here, which I know is like a super lame thing to say, but also they were very pricey. Continuing on my right topmost shelf, this is my Harry Potter shelf. So I have all of the Harry Potter books in their British hardcover Bloomsbury edition, and I absolutely love these editions of the Harry Potter books. I think that they're very gorgeous. They're also the original covers that came out in England, and I think that that was just something that I had to have. Along with the Harry Potter series, I also have my Hermione wand, which I bought a couple of years ago and I think is very beautiful. I also have a bookmark here for some reason which says, "May happiness flow through every door," and I really love this bookmark as well. Then over on the right side, I have all 5 books of the Song of Ice and Fire series, aka Game of Thrones, in their mass market paperback edition. I also have a little figurine of Lara Croft from the latest 2013 reboot video game series. I know that this is not a very bookish thing, but I absolutely love the 2013 reboot video game series of Lara Croft or Tomb Raider. I really love the old games as well, but there's just something about the 2013 reboot that just really pulls on my heartstrings. I don't really know what it is. I think it's just the story. She's meant to stand like this. Then over here, I also have a Lannister candle, which I actually got at the Frankfurt Book Fair last year. I also have a little Daenerys figurine, which I actually got in Barnes & Noble a couple years ago in the States, but her leg is kind of twisted, which is really annoying. This was actually on clearance, so she doesn't really stand up very well, so I kind of just like prop her up on my Game of Thrones candle. Over here, I actually also have a stack of Chrysanthemite bookmarks, which I actually got sent to me by the lovely, lovely Gianna Culbertson. If you guys haven't read the Chrysanthemite series, I would highly recommend you guys do so. It is a fantastic series. Then continuing off on the shelf underneath the Harry Potter shelf, I have all of the Selection series books, which is the Selection, the Elite, the One, the Heir, and the Crown, all by Kira Cass, and also her novella bind-up called Happily Ever After. Then over here I have the Unearthed series by Cynthia Hand, which is Unearthed, Hallowed, and Boundless. Over here I also have the Matched series by Ali Condi, Matched, Crossed, and Reached. And all the way over here, I have one of my favorite series of all time, which is the School for Good and Evil series by Salman Chainani, which is A School for Good and Evil, A World Without Princes, The Last Ever After, and also Quests for Glory. Over here, I also have a really big candle, which I keep in this beautiful glass. I used to light this candle all the time in my room, but it kind of burned down, so now it doesn't really burn as well anymore, so I just kind of keep it here as like decoration. And in here, I crafted this really, really cute kind of message in a bottle with this cute heart stopper, which I find really, really adorable and like really matches my bookshelf really well. This is the shelf underneath my Sarah J. Maas and Lunar Chronicles shelf. This is my Shadowhunters Chronicles bookshelf. So over here I actually have the Shadowhunters Codex. I have the Infernal Devices series, so Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and then Clockwork Princess. And then over here I have the Mortal Instruments series, so City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, City of Heavenly Fire. I actually have this twice. I have the smaller version and the bigger version. I keep the bigger version up because it sort of, I don't know, it creates this really cool kind of contrast between these tall ones and these like shorter ones, and also for some random reason Sebastian's hand just like matches up with this cover very well, so I feel like that was really cool. Then I also have the Bane Chronicles and Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy and Lady Midnight. Lord of Shadows is currently being read upstairs, so I took it off my shelf. I actually should have put it back because I'm really sorry, but Lord of Shadows is actually also there. Then we come to my favorite shelf on my entire bookshelf, which is my Rochelle Mead / Vampire Academy shelf, where I have the entirety of the Vampire Academy collection, which is also my favorite series of all time. So I have the 3 graphic novels that came out. Then I also have the Vampire Academy Ultimate Guide. I have all books in paperback: Vampire Academy Frostbite, Shadow Kiss, Blood Promise, Spirit Bound, and Last Sacrifice. And then I also have the 4 Vampire Academy books, which came out in hardback also here. I really, really love this edition of Vampire Academy because it actually has Rochelle Mead's signature engraved into the hardcover, which is so gorgeous, like I can't even. Then I also have all 6 Bloodlines series in hardcover, so Bloodlines, the Golden Lily, the Indigo Spell, the Fiery Heart, Silver Shadows, and the Ruby Circle. I actually also owned these all in paperback a while ago, but I gave them away to a friend because I think that the hardcover books are so gorgeous and I didn't really need another set of paperback books. And then all the way over on the right, I have Rochelle Mead's latest series, which is the Glittering Court series. The Glittering Court, the Midnight Jewel, and the Emerald Sea. Then we come to my second favorite shelf in the entire bookshelf, which is my House of Night shelf. There are so many books over here, so I needed to dedicate an entire shelf to it. There I have the entire House of Night series, so Marked, Betrayed, Chosen, Untamed, Hunted, Tempted, Betrayed, Awakened, Destined, Hidden, Redeemed, and Revealed. I also have the 4 novellas in hardback, so Dragon's Oath, Lenobia's Vow, Nefert's Curse, and Kelowna's Fall, and also the 2 latest books in the House of Night series, which is Loved and Lost. I also have the Fledgling Handbook in hardcover. I have the graphic novel, the House of Night graphic novel in hardcover, as well as this awesome book, which is Nyx in the House of Night, which talks about all of the kind of religion and spirituality and sort of history that PC and Kristen Cass pulled from. I also have 5 candles here, which symbolize the 5 elements which are called during the House of Night sort of rituals. So, oh, by the way, this is supposed to be a purple, but like, it doesn't really look really purple. So this is yellow for air, red for fire, green for earth, and blue for water. And then this, which was supposed to be a purple one, for spirit. I also have this really, really, really cute bookmark, which I actually got off of PC and Kristen Cast's official website. It has this really cute goddess figurine on the end, and it is laid with loads and loads of pretty crystals and a gorgeous metal feather. I keep this bookmark on my shelf at all times because it belongs to the House of Night series. Then on the shelf underneath my House of Night series, I have Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. I have Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. I have the Tales of the New World series by PC Cast, which is Moonchosen, Sun Warrior, and Windrider. I also have all of the Chrysanthemum Night books, which I highly recommend you guys go and read. They are awesome. Which is Protagonist Bound, The Severance Game, Inherent Fate, and The Liar, the Witch, and the Wormhole. Then I also have Across the Universe by Beth Rivas. I haven't actually read this book yet. And then I have the Half-Blood series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which is Half-Blood, Pure, Deity, Apollyon, and Sentinel. Then I have Wicked, Lovely, and Fragile Eternity by Melissa Marr. I know that I'm missing a book here in the middle. I forgot the name of it right now, but I'm actually gonna go get that sometime. And I also have the book Alienated by Melissa Landers, which I also haven't read yet. Then over here, I have a couple of books of the House of Night series in hardcover. So I have Marked, Betrayed, Chosen, Hunted, Tempted, Destined. I know that there's some books missing here. Totally needed to get them when they were on offer online. I got them for like €2 each, which is super, super cheap, and I really, really wanted them. I just didn't really know where to put them, so I put them on the shelf. Then comes the shelf, which is underneath my Vampire Academy shelf, which I kind of dubbed my yellow, orange, and blue shelf because it has loads of different colors and it's really like bright. Where I have The Martian by Andy Weir. I have Red Rising and Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I have the Beautiful Creatures books, Beautiful Creatures, Beautiful Darkness, and Beautiful Chaos by Garcia Stoll. Then I have the Shatter Me series, which is Shatter Me, Unravel Me, Ignite Me by Tahar Mafi. I know that this series is like in the wrong way around. Like I know Shatter Me is the first book, but I put them in this order so that the tallest book would go first. Because I was really salty that this book was taller. Then I also have the Divergent series by Veronica Roth, Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant. Then I also have Requiem by Lauren Oliver, which is the third book in the Delirium series. I actually do have Delirium and Pandemonium, but they are like shorter versions and I wanted all my books to be the same height, so I put this one here. Then I have Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertelli. I really need to finish this book sometime. I'm so bad at reading it. I also have Soundless by Rachel Mead, Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page, the Hunger Games series by Susanna Collins, so Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay, and also Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Then underneath that shelf, I have my sort of black bookshelf, which are books that I didn't really know where else to put. So I have The Host by Stephanie Meyer. I have the Interstellar script by Christopher Nolan and Jonathan Nolan. Then I also have the Complete Chronicles of Narnia series by C.S. Lewis. I have the shooting script of Inception, which FYI, for those of you who don't know, Inception is by far my favorite movie of all time, and I just had to have the shooting script. For those of you who don't really understand the movie so well, it took me a couple of times before I fully understood everything. Reading the shooting script really made me understand this story so much more. Then I have The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. I have Heartless by Melissa Meyer. And then comes my Twilight collection. So I have Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, all by Stephanie Meyer. I have the 10th anniversary edition of Twilight, along with Life and Death on the other side. And I also have the short Second Life of Bree Tanner, which I actually haven't read yet. Shame on me. Then I have Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge, another copy of The Host. Then I have the School for Good and Evil, the Ever Never Handbook, which is really awesome. And I know that it should be with my School for Good and Evil books, but again, the height just didn't really work out, which is really frustrating. Then I have the 3 first books in the Partholon series by PC Cast, which is Divine by Mistake, Divine by Blood, and Divine by Choice. And last but not least, I have Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Allaire Saints. I really don't know how to pronounce that. Then on my shelf next to the shelf that we just looked at, I actually don't really have anything. So basically, this story has a very funny kind of story behind it. My parents used to have this horse statue upstairs, and they literally just when these shelves were built, they took a look at how much space I still had and they just kind of gave it to me and were like, yeah, can you please hold on to this for like a couple of days or something? And it's kind of been in my shelf for a very, very long time now. I kind of have grown a bit attached to it. I think it's a very, very beautiful sculpture. And I don't really have plans of getting rid of it anytime soon. So yeah, that is staying. I also have this cute little kind of dwarf thing, which is actually kind of Christmassy. I don't really know what it's doing here. I actually don't really want it here, but whatever. And then I have the unsigned copy of Mark. My marked version on the shelf, 2 shelves above, is actually signed, and I didn't really know where to put this one, so I kind of just put it here. And then I also have a beautiful signed copy of the 10th anniversary edition of the Vampire Academy book, which I don't really know where to put because I absolutely love it, and I love that it's signed, but it doesn't match my other books, which is really frustrating. So I kind of just ended up putting these books over there. I am going to have to turn my camera all the way down for this second last shelf. Unfortunately, this is kind of just like a shelf where books end up in, which I don't really know what to do with them. So I have Outlander by Dana Gabaldon, The Priest by Monica Laporta. I have Piercing the Darkness by some author. I actually, this doesn't belong to me. Oops. I'm actually supposed to give this back to a friend of mine. Then I have Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Laureen Miracle. I have the novella 4 by Veronica Roth. I have Faking Normal by Courtney C. Stevens. I have another copy of the 10th anniversary of Vampire Academy. I have Gregor the Overlander by Suzanne Collins, Undercover Princess by Connie Glenn, The Mere Wife by Maria Devana Headley. I have Life Eternal by Yvonne Woon, Esme's Wish by Elizabeth Foster, and Convergence. Then I also have The Bone Witch by Rin Chupico. I have Otherworld by Jason Siegel and Kirsten Miller. I have Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. And then here are kind of like my pile of books where like I really don't know what to do with them because they are like the most inconvenient size ever. This is actually, funnily enough, this is actually a map of Skyrim, which I got from a friend of mine. It's so cool. I absolutely love it. It's not book related, but I didn't really know where else to put it. I put everything that I love like just in my bookshelf. I have the Ugly series by Scott Westerfield. So that is Uglies, Pretties, Specials, and Extras. Then I also have 2 Goddess Summoning books by PC Cast. So I have Goddess of the Sea and Goddess of the Spring. And then I also have mass market paperback editions of Delirium and Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver, The Immortal Crown and Game Board of the Gods by Rochelle Mead, Succubus Blues by Rochelle Mead, and Stormborn by Rochelle Mead. Please release editions that aren't mass market paperback editions. I would be very much appreciated. And last but not least, I have my very, very empty shelf underneath my Twilight shelf where I have the Game of Thrones graphic novel. I actually have The Odyssey by Homer. I have this really, really cute book which I used to read as a child, which is called Can You Sleep, Little Bear by Martin Waddell and Barbara Firth. I have, I don't know why, I have a coloring book here, and then I have kind of like illustrated movie companions of The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Host, Vampire Academy, Catching Fire, The Hunger Games, Divergent, and then I have the House of Night coloring book, and I also have this really cool book which is called 20 Years of Tomb Raider, Digging Up the Past, Defining the Future, which is really cool. And all the way over here, I actually have my bookmarks, which I just kind of like put here, which is really bad. I love this one because it says, never judge a book by its movie. This one just has like a Christian fish on it. For those of you who don't know, I am a Christian, so I got this, actually I got this at the book fair, which I thought was really cool. I have this really cute unicorn magnet bookmark. This bookmark I think is one of my favorites. It just says so many books, so little time. It has like a rubber band, which I can use to hook it around my book. I got this bookmark at the Making of Harry Potter in London, which is so cool. And then I have this beautiful bookmark, which I actually got quite recently, which is called I Am a Daydreamer and a Night Thinker. Okay guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this bookshelf tour. I had a lot of fun filming it and it was a bit intimidating, but I am super happy that I did it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I bring videos out every Wednesday. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you guys are having a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye!